Lucy Short. Billy Bisbee woke up one morning to find a small dragon on his bed. Frightened, he rushed downstairs to tell his mom. He said, "Mom, there's a dragon on my bed." His mother replied, "Billy, there's no such thing as dragons." Satisfied, Billy went back upstairs, only to find that the dragon had grown. Each time, either Billy or his mother said there's no such thing as dragons, the dragon would grow. Eventually, the dragon was the size of the house. Only when Billy and his mother started acknowledging the dragon did he begin to shrink in size. The dragon shrunk all the way back down to his regular size, and Billy and the dragon became best friends. The children's book, There's No Such Thing as Dragons by Jack Kent, shows how if something gets ignored, it grows larger and larger until it cannot be ignored any longer. Our fears work in the same way. Fears can overrun and control your life if you let them. But what if I told you that fear is actually a learned behavior? According to research, fear is not something that people are born with. It can be overcome, and I know because of personal experience. So fears are not born, they're learned. In 1920, two psychologists conducted an experiment called the Little Albert Experiment. 9-month-old Albert was shown a white rat, and he had no fear toward it. He even played with this little rat. Then the researchers started showing Albert the rat while also banging a hammer against a loud pole. That sound shocked Albert, and he began to cry. The researchers repeated this process for 7 weeks. Each time they showed Albert the rat, they would also make the loud sound, and every time Albert would cry. Eventually, the researchers stopped making the sound and just showing the rat. Albert still cried. The researchers found that Albert showed fear towards other things besides just the white rat, like hats or gloves or dogs, things that just resembled the white rat. See, Albert had associated the loud sound with the rat, and he had developed a fear of things associated like the rat. This research study opened up a whole new world of possibilities and proved that fear is something that's learned and not something that humans are born with. So if fear is learned, it can be unlearned. Or a different behavior can be learned to replace the fear. Overcoming fear is possible. And the best way to overcome fear is by facing your fears head on. According to Dr. Spencer, a research psychologist, he said that overcoming fears gives people a sense of accomplishment and empowerment. You can begin to say, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. But overcoming fears also gives you the evidence that you can cope. Tell yourself, I did it yesterday, so I can do it today. By overcoming your fears, you can begin to see your full potential. But you can also gain evidence that you can do hard things and overcome the obstacles that life throws at you. I know overcoming fears is possible because I've done it. When I started high school, I was horrible with my parents. Completely dishonest, I didn't tell them anything. Because I was very, very afraid of their responses to my actions. And because of that, there was a real strain on our relationship. And one day I decided I want a better relationship with my parents, and it needs to start with me being honest. So I started to tell them everything. And I found that their responses were not nearly as bad as I thought that they would be. Because of that experience, communication and my parents are no longer things that scare me. I can communicate openly with people because I overcame that fear in my life. See, just like Billy started to look at the dragon, recognize the dragon, and face the dragon, it started to shrink in size and it became a great friend to Billy. Our fears can be the same. When we face them head on, then we can start to overcome them. which brings a sense of accomplishment and empowerment and confidence that you can achieve your dreams. In the words of Victor Hugo, courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. Thank you.